By the way, guys, hi, I'm Christina. I realize that I haven't really formally introduced myself, and that's because I feel like this is less about me and more about the information that I have. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm Christina and I've done all these things and yeah. Hi, I'm Christina. I am Jamaican. I have been here in Canada for 5 years and I have been through probably every immigration process possible. Not necessarily, but I came to Canada, I studied in Canada. You know what? This is going to be a 50 facts about me video. Just kidding. 50? What the hell? No way. Okay, let's do this for real. All right, so I'm going to give you facts about me that are relevant to Canadian immigration and also just to help you guys get to know me better. Hi, I'm Christina. I'm from Jamaica and I've been in Canada for 5 years and the year is 2019. Thank you. Thank you very much. One, where did I go to school? I went to Humber College in Etobicoke. So that's the Humber College North Campus. What did I study? I studied project management. My previous educational background is in architecture, so I have a bachelor's in architecture, graduated university, went to the University of Technology in Jamaica, graduated, came to Canada and did a postgraduate certificate in project management. How long did I go to school for in Canada? I went to school in Canada for 8 months. 8 consecutive months. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Then I was done. Then I worked. How long did it take me to get a job in Canada? I finished school in August. I had my interview at the end of August for the place that I currently work at. And I finished school the end of August. And I had a week and a half because where I found my job was 3 hours away by bus from where I lived. So I found my job, interviewed, and they gave me 2 weeks to figure myself out and get to work. So in 2 weeks, I had to find somewhere to live and then get to work. How long did it take me to find somewhere to live? A week and a half. Now, there's always going to be an abundance of places, right? It's just a matter of how much abundance of money you have for pay for the place name. So I feel fortunate in terms of what I found. I found somewhere that at the time it cost $600 a month for rent, and I was able to afford that. And really the plan was to just catch there for a little bit until I found something that I preferred and then move. But then you kind of get locked into like a 1-year lease when you come here, and that's something that you guys need to take into consideration, getting locked into 1-year leases. And then different things happen in my life, different changes happen, and different things that cause me to just, you know what, I'm going to stay here for 4 years, I'm going to save up my money and just do my thing. So I stayed there for 4 years. What kind of place did I rent or did I live in when I just got here or when I started working? So when I just got here to Canada, I lived with family. I lived with my aunt. Thank you, auntie, for accommodating me, and my cousin. Thank you, cousin, for accommodating me in your home and feeding me and loving me and having me there. And my cousin walked with me, took the bus with me to school the first day. You know, I packed my lunch bag. Okay, there was no lunch bag, but you know, she came with me to school the first day of school, and I appreciate you for that, my darling cousin. And I lived with my aunt for the entire duration of school. Once I finished school and I got a job, I moved out and went to the city that my new job was in, which was by bus, because of course at the time I didn't drive. By bus it was going to be 3 hours, so that wasn't no. I know this seems like slow motion, but it actually wasn't. I'm good, right? And then after I moved out, Where I rented here, I found here was a basement apartment. So I lived in a basement apartment, and it was $600 at the time. It was small. It was just a room, a kitchenette, and a bathroom, and the front door. But it did the job, and it was cheap. Cheap in Canada, not cheap anywhere else, because $600 in Jamaica, my sister was living in twice the size of space I was living in Jamaica, and she was paying half of what I was paying. So yeah. Did I get a car when I just got here or when I just started working? No. I was here for probably 2.5 years before I started driving or before I got a car. Did I have a license to drive? Yes, but that was only to have Canadian identification. It was not to drive. And the reason I didn't drive is because, one, I didn't need to. Of course, it would have been convenient. Oh, first world problems. Oh my God, the bus is late. But I wasn't a permanent resident at the time. And as a temporary person, my status here felt very temporary. You know, I was a temporary worker, and I didn't want baggage. I didn't want CIC to say, you know what, Christina, we don't want you here. And then I had to figure out how to get rid of a car, house, and land. So I didn't drive. I took the bus, and when I got permanent residency, that's the first thing I went and got was a car. You know, it was really a toss-up between kind of juggling, like, do I go and find somewhere new to live that has more space and more light? Jesus, hallelujah, more light. There will be a video on my living, where I just lived, the first place that I lived, and how my landlady ripped me off and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, it was really a toss-up between, do I get somewhere new to live that has more space, more light, all that wonderful stuff, or do I get a car? So my first hunt was to try and go and find somewhere new to live, but then I had to get around via bus, so you could only really look at one place a day, and that just was not working out, because sometimes it's a good little trek, and then you just have to look at the place and you have to catch the bus back. And so I was like, car. So I went and got a cheap car. My insurance was $200, enough. And the car at the time was about $6,000 or $7,000. And then it died. And everybody's situation is different. I mean, I came by myself. I don't have any children. I don't have anybody but myself really to worry about getting around. And so it would have been nice to have had a car, because it's convenient and you don't have to deal with the snow. But I was looking over more long-term goals and more long-term gratification than short-term gratification. And because, of course, I didn't drive, I didn't do much in terms of go places. If I didn't see a clear way home and a clear way to the place, I wasn't going. Especially if it's not work, the supermarket, somebody I'd have to pick me up and drop me off immediately. So that was my first year. Why Canada? Why did I come to Canada? What gave me the encouragement to come to Canada? The immigration process here is a lot more appealing to me than the US, for example. And really, I was only really looking at North America. I do have an obsession with Australia, and I did try to go to school in Australia, except it cost a lot of money. Probably the same amount of money that it cost to be in Canada, but that was for my undergrad. So that would have been 4 years times a cajillion. But it was appealing here, very appealing in terms of the process. I did have a little bit of family here, and I didn't feel very hopeful in my field in Jamaica, and not hopeful that I wouldn't get a job, but hopeful that I would be able to. My long-term goals, I didn't see them being fulfilled within the Jamaican economy at the time, and so I was always kind of obsessed with North America as a child too, where it was just pretty and clean, and everything's so available and everything's so big, and the roads don't have potholes. A lie, them have pothole, whole heap of pothole. It depends on where you are, but yeah, as a child I was very fascinated with North America. And so here I am. Do I ever get homesick? I do. Especially the first couple of years that you're here and it was just me by myself. Especially when the bus left you. That's when you curse the day you come here more than any other day. Because it's cold. The bus leave you and you have to wait for the next bus. So yeah, sometimes I get homesick. And just after I got permanent residency, my grandfather died, which was hard for me. And I kind of had to grieve alone because I didn't have anybody here to grieve with or to shoulder to cry on necessarily. So that was kind of tough for me. And especially since when you're away from home and you don't know how things are going. Like, you get a phone call or whatever, you're on the phone and you're talking, oh, how is so-and-so? They're okay, blah, blah, blah. Yes, they're okay, but then you don't get to see them age. You don't get to see them, unfortunately, deteriorate. And so when my grandfather died, I questioned, why am I here? Why do I need to be here? What am I doing here? You know? So yeah, sometimes I get homesick and question being here. But sometimes I get frustrated with all these borders and immigration processes and this sticker that you need to go into this country and this card that you need to go into that country because you're from this country. And then I'm just like, why? I'm a citizen of the world and I should be able to go anywhere I want. But that's out of frustration. I understand, blah, blah, blah. Rules, governments, yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. I just want to be like a worldian, you know what I mean? A citizen of the world. Random fact about me. Random fact. I don't, you know those shoes that have zippers on the side? Those are the shoes that I wear to work every day. And I don't zip the zippers up, ever. Why? I feel like it's borderline lazy and borderline just don't care. Yeah, I don't zip the zippers up. And I don't care. And it makes, the thing is that when you don't zip the zippers up, it's easy to slip your foot in and slip your foot out. So when you come home, you just slip it off. When you're leaving, you just slip your foot in and you just leave. You know what I mean? Another fact about me, okay, which high school did I go to in Jamaica? I went to St. Hilda's Diocesan High School. Another fact, and this is going to be an encouraging fact, guys. Have I ever been rejected? Yes. And you can watch this video at the end of this video. Yes. My very first student visa was rejected, and it was because I did not attach the police certificate. How did I feel? I felt sad, but I also felt driven. I'm like, I'm a survivor. Who you think you're messing with? I'm gonna get this visa. I'm just kidding. That's not how I felt in the process. That's why, like, guys, look forward to being able to look back. Isn't that deep? That's so deep. Look forward to being able to look back and just be like, pop your collar. Not in a way that you're not being like humble, but in a way, just in a hopeful way. You know what I mean? Because one day all of this will be behind you, and it'll come by, so it'll go so quickly, and you'll be so happy that it's over. And when you look back, you'll be able to tell a victorious story. So I was rejected before. It was sad. I acted quickly and paid for help. And if you find that you've been rejected more than once, you already wasted the 2 money to get rejected twice. Don't do it a third time. Go and pay for help. Yes, it is an investment, right? It's not a matter of, I'm just saying, just spend the money. Like, I don't value money. I do have value and understand that everybody's situation is different financially, but like, some things you're gonna have to pay for, and if you don't pay for it, you get what you pay for, or get what you don't pay for. You know what I mean? So if you've been rejected several times, don't get rejected again. Don't lean on your own understanding, because something wrong if you're getting rejected several times. Just saying. Yep. So those are some facts about me. As we go along, there's some more facts will come out because people ask me questions that are specific to me, and so they'll come out. And I will sort of kind of keep those for question and answer videos. So this was not a question and answer video, okay? This was facts about me. So don't be thinking like, oh, it's a question and answer video. Why did it come out on Friday? Guys, focus, okay? This is a facts video, not a question and answer video, even though it was question and answer formats. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you take to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity that I have to be able to share what I have to share with you guys. I actually really enjoy doing this. I love watching it back and having fun, but I also like when I know that it's being helpful to people. All right, so keep on watching. Remember to subscribe. There is a subscribe thing over on this side. Subscribing is important. It's important for keeping this going. It's important for growing. It's important for showing people social proof that this is something that they can actually learn from or invest in. So subscribe up, like it if you like it, and share it. And of course, ask questions, comments. Remember, we're on Instagram. Remember, we're on Facebook, and we are right here on YouTube where you can comment in the bottom, right? So like, share, subscribe. Woo! See you in the next video.